The first time you guys won, you said Hillary Clinton called and you were sitting right next to him.
Yeah, I have a great
What,
picture.
what was that call like? What did it sound like?
I think I have the picture in my book right here. I'll just show it to you. I snapped a picture on my phone, and it was Hillary that called him up. And you'll remember Podesta that night?
Oh, God.
So this is a crazy story. Can I tell? So the J.K. Javits Center, my father pretty much built it, right? He got that whole thing approved, got it to the city, and they ended up building it. She wanted to do her, she wanted election night to be at the Javits Center. You know why? Because it has a glass ceiling. She wanted the glass ceiling to fall, right? That was like the whole thing. You know the other place when she ran against Barack Obama that she wanted to have her election night? Old Post Office, which is a hotel that we happened to build on Pennsylvania Avenue. So pretty much, if Trump ever touched a building, Hillary Clinton, if she ever runs again, should stay the hell away from the glass ceilings because it's not working well for her. But you'll remember, so Podesta comes out, and she had clearly lost, and everybody go home. It's going to be a long night. We'll regroup. We're going to come up with a great plan. We'll see you in the morning. And it was like 3 o'clock, and my father's like, listen, we had clearly won, and we had won by a lot. He had won by a lot, and he goes, I'm just going to go out, and I'm going to give him my speech. I'm not doing this on her time. I'm going to do it on mine. And they knew that he was just about to go out and go out on stage, and we had no party planned. I mean, we literally took like a room in like the Marriott. We were too superstitious. Everybody was saying we were going to lose, so there's no way we're going to do this in Trump Tower. This is like, this was like home base for us. Like we're too superstitious. We didn't want that kind of negative juju on that building, right? And so we did in the Marriott. We didn't even have hors d'oeuvres. We just had like a bar in the corner, and everybody was getting hammered right as they waited for this whole thing to happen. Hillary had millions of balloons. She had the nicest caviar. She had Dom Perignon, right? They were going to celebrate the great victory. The difference is my father was in Michigan. I was with him in Michigan until 2:30 in the morning that morning. She had packed it in like 3 days before, right? She had totally given up, packed it in. They thought they were going to get the victory, and sure enough, she knew he was going to walk out on stage. And so she called him up and conceded, and I snapped this picture on my phone, and I think it's definitely the only picture of her calling my father, but I'll never forget it, and I could just hear her voice on the other side of that cell phone. And man, was that a good day. I mean, man, was that a...
Was it a fair, did she say, was it like, hey, Donald, I don't want to make this, do you remember the words, what she said?
Yeah, she said, listen, you ran a great race, and I'll never forget, and this was his gracefulness, right? There was no revenge. There was no... In fact, I mean, she deleted 33,000 emails. You'll all remember this. They could have easily imprisoned Hillary Clinton for a lot of bad stuff, and he thought it'd be terrible for the country. And he goes, Hillary, I have to say, you were tough as hell. You were one formidable, opponent. You were tough as hell, and you ran a hell of a race. And I give you a lot of credit. I mean, it was pure grace. And that speech was one of the most inspirational speeches. If you remember the speech, how positive it was, and everything else. And guys, we got to November 20th, which was Inauguration Day. 12 minutes after my father was inaugurated, that day, the Washington Post came out with a story. This is when the impeachment of Donald Trump begins. 12 minutes. 12 minutes. They couldn't even wait that long. And that's when the walls started closing in, and that's when they went after him like he was an absolute... And obviously me, I became this most subpoenaed person in American history for doing absolutely nothing wrong. And he was so graceful to her. And by the way, there's a great debate whether or not he should have been, to tell you the truth. I could argue, man, they didn't bestow any grace on him. They decided to try and take him out in every way, shape, or form, including creating these Russia narratives that were just nonsense. And I'll never... Yeah, that's the article. The campaign to impeach President Trump has begun.
12 minutes later. Wow.
January 20th.
Jeez.
12:27. I'm so sorry. I said it was 12 minutes. It was 27 minutes after inauguration.
We'll give you some grace on the timing.
Thank you for the 14 minutes of grace.
And did you also say that you were there when Kamala made the call?
Yeah, we were at the convention center in Palm Beach, Florida, our new home state. We had to leave New York because honestly they were coming after us like we were dogs, and it just wasn't worth it anymore. We were one of the ones that just picked up and left. But I was there right next to him when he got the second call from her, and that was another great moment. I mean, we had fought so hard through the 2020 through 2024 period. They had put us through everything, and that was a great moment.
Was that also graceful?
It was graceful. Listen, I mean, it was such an embarrassing defeat. I have to say that. Now
But,
she won't say that in her book, right?
The closest race of all time.
By the way, have you heard the new name for this book? I can't even trademark it, but it's so good. The 107 Days of Sobriety, as opposed to the 107 Days. Have you heard about this whole thing? But
welcome to my book tour. 2 drink minimum.
But in her book, she talks about how it was the closest race in political history. I'm sitting there, it's like, what about like Bush?
Can't
Bush?
she say that?
No, she can't say that.
So-
He won the popular vote. He won every swing state. He won Miami-Dade by 11 points. He won every state in the country tacked to the left. I'm sorry, to the right. You know, he won 11 counties in California that he had never been won by a conservative before. He won all of them. Like it wasn't the closest race. It was quite frankly an ass kicking. Like it wasn't a close race. It was.
Did you see the conversation that Stephen A. Smith had on The View about the mandate? Did you hear that? Remember that part? When she goes, Trump keeps calling it a mandate, and they're like, "This isn't a mandate." And Stephen A. Smith goes, "Excuse me," and he basically said everything. This is a mandate. Yeah. 7 swing states, every congressional district, bing, 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 bing. And he voted for Kamala. Stephen A. Smith, respect to you, Stephen A. But it was not close whatsoever.
I don't know if he voted for Kamala. Did he say he voted for Kamala?
I don't know.
No, I think he said he said something, if I'm not mistaken. It's
Did
not
he sit
Trump.
that one out?
Yeah, he may have not voted for Trump. I know
don't know.
Cuomo said he
Okay.
didn't vote for
We can
Trump.
fact check that.
Or
At
maybe-
least the guy had the fortitude to actually call out the Democrats
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
being lunatics on certain issues,
sure.
right? And maybe he didn't get there, but at least I give him a little credit for trying to have a little intellectual honesty in the whole conversation in a time where no one was having intellectual honesty. I mean, Jake Tapper. Did anybody see the interview with my wife where he, he's scolding her because she's saying that Biden doesn't have his mental faculties? I mean,
That's right.
how dare you diagnose? Do you have your doctorate degree? Children are going to think you're a bully for saying that a man with a stutter has a. I mean, he's torching her. Hey, pull up his book if you don't mind on that screen. I don't mean to step into Patrick's role, but pull up Jake Tapper's book.
We just saw what
Guest
Rob was
host.
buying.
By the way,
No,
Stephen A. did vote for Kamala. Stephen A. did vote
all
for
right.
Kamala.
So
Sorry to
this
put
is
you on
Jake
the blast,
Tapper's
Stephen A.
book, right? I got to read it. Original Sin: President Biden's decline, its cover-up, and his disastrous choice to run again. And yet he's on the media scolding Laura Trump because she said that he had a cognitive decline, right? I mean, the problem is they're all phonies, at least for Stephen A. Smith. He had the intellectual honesty to be able to punch back against the Democrats and say that some of their policies were disastrous, most of DEI.
You know who interviewed him well with the book when he came out? Megyn Kelly. Did you see Megyn Kelly? Have you seen how Megyn Kelly interviewed Jake Tapper?
Yeah.
Pushing, but you said, no, Jake, but I'm in the business. But you can't say that I'm into this.
Wasn't he your friend or was that Cuomo?
No,
That was Cuomo that was
not
your
Jake
friend.
Tapper.
Yeah,
No,
that was
Jake, no. But Cuomo, he's done a lot of stuff here with us. So we're looking at this book right now. If you're watching this and you're loving the podcast, this will be at the end of every single one of the clips. We would like to see if we can do something. Okay, collect. Thank you so much. I would like you, if you're watching this, to go support Eric Trump. We're going to put the link below. Buy a copy, maybe buy 2, maybe buy 5 and gift it to somebody. It's number 30. Let's, in the next 24 hours, help this book become number 1 on all of Amazon. If you can buy 10, order 10. Let's send a statement. The book comes out October 14th. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.